Hello Internet and welcome to another League of Legends patch video on PCGamesN's YouTube channel. Ben Barrett here, joined by Mr. of Legends, Ali Jones.
Hiya.
And we're here to talk you all the way through patch 7.20. Apologies that this video is a little later than usual. Ali was on holiday.
Sorry.
He's lazy. God. But who aren't lazy is Riot's development team.
Nice segue.
Who've got a lot of stuff going on in this one.
A lot of stuff. So we're going to start with Evelynn, who's getting the rework.
Yeah, she's just totally different now, basically. Looks different, abilities do different things, skins are all changed.
Also says different things,
yeah.
She's pretty fun. I had a bit of a tinker on the PvE. She's still stealthy, and she keeps her Q, so she's still got hate spikes, even though they've been tweaked slightly. But her W, E, and R have all changed.
And her passive, right?
And her passive.
Yeah.
So her passive is when she's been out of combat for 4 seconds, she enters Demon Shade, which is a weirdly spooky... I mean, it's October now. So
yes, yeah, it's 100% relevant.
So she enters this kind of shadow form, she runs around, she heals, and she's still camouflaged as long as she's not too near enemy champions.
Okay, cool.
Her W now has a charm mechanic built in, her E has a dash mechanic built in, and her ultimate does a load of damage and then jumps her backwards, which is quite uncommon.
Interesting. So is it like Echo's time reversal thing?
A little bit, but very much like she deals damage in front of her and then jumps a significant portion backwards.
Oh, okay, so it's like an anti-engage.
Yeah, kind of. I think feels very much like she's been built around being on the outskirts.
I see.
It's enough to jump you back over pretty much every wall in the game, for example. So
so you can sort of like, there's 3 people, you attack them, you ult one guy to kill him,
and then you just
and
jump
you
back
are
out.
simultaneously getting out of that fight. Interesting. No, it's pretty cool because she's one of the older characters in the game.
Yeah.
That was pretty clear, both from her mechanics and also, I mean, her design was kind of sexy, free-to-play character. Like, you know, it was very much in that 2009 theme that League just doesn't need anymore. It's a huge game. It doesn't need to titillate people to get people to play it. It's got 68 million daily players or whatever. So yeah, it was about time for that update. And they've kept the theme of that.
Yeah.
And it's not like they've completely removed any sort of sexuality that she had, but it is just different and more interesting.
I mean, if you check out the site, there's a full voiceover, and that whole sexuality thing is very much still there. It's kind of creepy.
Excellent. So that's what they're probably going for. So if one character rework wasn't enough for you, runes are a new thing.
So the other day, Riot put out all 60 of their new runes. So this is Runes Reforged, which we've been talking about on the site for a while, and Riot have been teasing for a while, but basically runes and masteries are now the same thing. And it's not like runes deal with stats and masteries give you bonuses. Now they are both kind of clumped in together.
Yeah.
We have a full breakdown of every single rune.
Yeah, if you want to, like, we could do a video on them and it'd be like 20 minutes on its own, so we're not.
Yeah. But you can go and check out our Runes Reforged guide on the site, and that's got what every single rune does, and a brief analysis of kind of who they'll work well with, who they won't work so well with, what's a good rune to pick. That took me a long time.
Please go look at it.
Please go look at it.
Very good.
So there's that. But some highlights are Predator, which is really fun, which speeds you up for 45% for 15 seconds, and then at the end of that, your first basic attack deals extra damage. Okay, I think that'll be good on lots of people.
Yeah, that sounds very powerful.
And then there's also the ultimate hat.
Well, it's called the ultimate hat, so I'm interested already.
It buffs your ultimates, so everybody gets 5% ultimate cooldown reduction when they go into the game, and also it lets that ultimate's cap to 50% cooldown reduction instead of 40%.
Oh, okay, so you end up just a lot
more ultimates.
A lot more ultimates. Obviously, the most powerful, abilities in the game, and therefore, so these aren't coming, if I'm right, with 7.20, right?
No,
they will be in 7.24, 8.0.
Yeah, so these aren't coming until November the 7th, I think.
Oh, okay, they actually put like a
yeah, well, that's when preseason is scheduled to.
Okay, sweet. Okay, cool. Yeah, so they won't be coming with this patch, which should be like next week. Won't be in the patch after that, but probably the patch after that.
But they are on PvE now, which is why we're mentioning.
Yeah, which is why we're talking about them here, and they're going through active development. Right, want your feedback. Some of them look kind of useless at the moment.
Some of them aren't looking great.
Some of them look massively overpowered at the moment. So yeah, there's a lot of tweaks to be done there. Speaking of which, because they're changing all of this, you've also had to go through about 30 characters being updated.
Yeah, so in order to kind of balance the entire game around the new rune system, there are 30 champions being tweaked in this current patch, which is far more than you would normally see.
Particularly in a patch with a massive champion update, because usually they want to keep those two separate because they don't want to know, they don't want there to be any confusion as to, oh, Evelynn's super overpowered. Is that because we of the changes we did to her, or because of the changes we did to these other champions that play well with her, or whatever, you know?
So I think the reason for that primarily is if you check out on the site, all these buffs, or the vast majority of these buffs are really quite small. I mean, the number of times I had to say damage on this spell increased by like 5 or 10 or something, it was a lot. So there are a couple of other changes. There's a little one to Karma and a little one to Janna, but other than that, 25 plus champions are just getting tiny little damage buffs.
Because they used to have runes or masteries that were like insta takes. That was what was balancing them, right? And now they have a whole different system.
Yes, exactly. So the stats are being moved to some extent away from runes and masteries, which means they have to be put somewhere. So they're being put onto champions instead.
Fair enough. And then items, presumably they can't be doing too much.
Not too much, apart from a brand new item.
Okay, I see. Well, of course.
So in line with one of the runes, I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but it basically gives you a one-time stasis use, and they've also turned that into an item.
Oh, okay.
So there's an item currently in the game called Zonia's Hourglass that, if you activate it, makes you invulnerable and untargetable for 2.5 seconds. And that's on about a 60-second cooldown, I think.
Right.
Stopwatch is that same thing, but far cheaper, and can only be used once.
Oh, so it's like a consumable?
Yes.
Oh, interesting. Because Zonia's is one of the more powerful items in the game. Like, there are characters that only work because they can get Zonia's.
Exactly. So that stopwatch is not technically consumable, but that item active can only be used once. It's going to build into Zonia's itself, as well as Guardian's Angel and Gargoyle Stoneplate.
Which are all, I mean, those are all really common items.
They're reasonably common late game survivability items, so that's why Stopwatch has been brought in.
Okay.
Other major change would be to the Hunter's items, so Hunter's Machete and Hunter's Talisman, which are the jungle starter items, and those are coming in for similar reasons to the buffs. There won't be jungle-specific masteries or runes in the same way that there would have been, so they're bringing in increased
item changes to make sure that you can still play the game in the way you remember.
Yeah.
And you're getting the new rune system on top of that, rather than everything being completely different.
Exactly.
Okay, sweet. So that is all the gameplay stuff. Now, normally we go over the skins in quite a lot of detail. We do want to try and keep this at a reasonable length, however. So just run me through quickly who's getting what.
So Elise is getting new reworked skins. She's got weird lasher things going on, and also a demon
Evelynn, not Elise.
Yeah, I've been doing that all the time.
Me. Right,
Evelynn is getting brand new skins.
Yeah.
Well, not brand new skins, but her skins are being redone.
Yeah, because like she has a whole different model that has like big flowy
tentacly things, and she's got demon shade, so that needs doing. So she's got 5 skins that are just being reworked. Basically, they're not different per se. But there's also the Super Galaxy skins. So previously there was Super Galaxy Rumble, which was a really cool skin.
Awesome.
And now there'll be Super Galaxy Nidalee, Annie, Nar, and Elise.
Fine. Yeah, I'm fine with this.
It's not too bad. All on a reasonably similar kind of robot mech theme.
Probably have a very good intro cinematic of some sort.
Probably at some point.
If Rumble is anything to go by. And so all of those will come out at some point, like during 7.20. It should be like a few days after the actual patch hits. So there you go. We will probably be talking more about runes in future videos. This patch will be out in about a week. And then we'll go straight into 7.21, which we would assume probably be like a bunch of balance changes off the back of like the Evelynn stuff, and probably more balance changes looking towards runes.
Yeah.
And then 7.22, by the sounds of things, will be the rune patch itself. And then everything will be...
Could be a little bit later. There's loads of tweaking they have to do before then.
Yeah. So, and then at some point, before, as we head into the end of the year, eventually there is like a 3-week cycle. And also the PB I think they just take it down over Christmas. Or they certainly kind of don't really do very much of it between the end of December and the start of January. So all of that will kind of shut down. Obviously, we won't have any videos during that time either, because we will be not here, thankfully. But we'll keep you updated with that as we go forward. You can expect plenty more of these, however, over the next month or so, probably a month and a half before things start getting strange. Thank you very much for joining us. If you enjoyed this video, please do hit like, do subscribe to the channel for more. Plenty of League of Legends content coming up. Please do check the site for everything you can possibly want to know about League of Legends Worlds as well. We'll probably do a video about that maybe as it's getting a bit more deeper into the tournament, and we can talk about just how well SKT1 are doing, and just how terribly all the NA teams are doing as we head towards that. Thanks very much for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.